Boom, baby. We are live. Welcome to Midnight MLD, where I talk about what I want to talk about because it's my show. And boy, oh boy, am I not surprised that we have another guy in the news who's a mainstream guy, streamer, really, really popular guy, makes millions of dollars, completely just ruined his life because he has no game. So there's a Twitch streamer named Mizkif, and he dated another excuse me, Twitch streamer named Emiru. Emiru is an American chick. She is Chinese and German mixed. We'll pull up a picture of her. And this whole story is just a complete abomination. He does some stuff that, well, this is all allegedly too, okay? And the one thing I don't like is when women in America do this exclusively, okay? They claim some kind of SA occurs, but they don't go to the police authorities. They go to the public first. And that just sets a terrible precedent because for what we know, we are not 100% true to the fact that she is telling the truth 100%. Like, there is some screenshots and stuff, but this is just he said, she said. But the white knights run to defend this chick, these women, no matter what. And I don't agree with the fact that a lot of these women go public with this stuff when there's no concrete conviction or anything like that. Okay. So now, you know, this happened with another guy. He was a Twitch streamer. I forget his name. It was Richard Campbell, I think. And some chick accused him of some stuff. And he had to step down and he had to lose a bunch of deals, lose millions of dollars. And then she just recently dropped the case. And it's like, you wasted so much time out of this man's life and you did all this crazy shit just to drop the case. And now we're seeing this all over again. Okay. So this episode, again, is going to be a very surgical breakdown because, you know, this girl is, I really don't know what her motivation is here, but there are a lot of red flags with her as well. And this guy just broke so many rules of the game, and now he is getting totally destroyed. And so we're going to talk about that. So let's go to the juicy stuff first. Let's see this woman of high moral character. First of all. Okay. So this is her. Her name is her streamer name is Emiru. That's a play on a Japanese name. I don't know why. She's not even Japanese. She is white, German, and Chinese, and she was born in Kentucky. So, you know, I personally just think women with clout make the worst relationship partners. You see all these people having all this drama and all this crap going on. You know, Amaranth with her Japanese boyfriend, and you know, streamer chicks are fucking crazy. They're just nuts, man. So this is her, and of course you see recently something happened to her at the event too. There was some TwitchCon event, and this guy like ran up on her and hugged her. And she was like, I was assaulted. And the guy just like hugged her. But okay, you were assaulted. I saw the video. Kind of overblown in my opinion. I'll pull the video up for you because she's all over Twitch news right now for this shit that happened. And then she's getting all this publicity, and now she decides to do this shit. Okay. And so this is the event. This is the first thing that happened to her like a week ago. Take a look. So he hugged her. I guess maybe he tried to kiss her on the cheek. I don't know. So she's already in the news for that, right? That's the first thing. And then earlier today, she came out and she made this huge 1.5 hour long stream. And we're going to jump right into that right now. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, as I go through her story where she is just publicly trashing this guy, you know, this just is like, you know, this is just some, this is just like too much drama for me. But this ultimately, like, this is like when guys say, oh, all you need to do is be rich. All you need to do is have clout. All you need to do is be tall and good looking. And then you're not going to have any relationship problems. And the bottom line is, if you do not have relationship skills, and as a man, you need relationship skills to lead and guide, and most importantly, determine if a woman is a good woman or not. Okay. What she did right recently, okay, because one thing that I think that she did is very foul, is she just exposed all of his messages that he sent to her. Okay, so we're gonna go into this, and I'm just giving my take on it. But I'm telling you guys, like, if you guys listen, guys, I know it sounds like I'm just trying to sell you something when I say this. I am well aware. But believe me when I tell you, and just take yourself out of, you know, your perspective and just look at it a little bit differently. Look at the divorce rate in America. Look at the state of women and how they behave en masse in America, right? Look at the celebrities getting caught up in all this drama, garbage, and trouble. Look at all these NBA players getting fleeced and fucking extorted for child support and alimony by these chicks who professionally hunt these guys down. Just look at all this and know this in your heart of hearts when I tell you, the average guy in America is below average on a global scale for understanding women. Men in other countries are not as bad as American men. American men are some of the biggest simps on the planet. And if you're watching this right now, okay, you got to understand, your game is not as good as you think it is. If you do not have the ability to consistently meet beautiful women, if you do not have a beautiful woman in your life right now that loves you and that is head over heels for you, your game sucks. And it's your fault, and you need to understand it. And you also need to understand, there's not a fairy godmother coming to tell you that it's going to be all right and everything's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay. It's not going to be all right. It's only going to be okay and be all right if you work with an expert, you work with a pro, and you tackle your goals, your dating goals, because you don't have enough time. You think you have time. You think you need to get to it down the road. You guys don't realize how much effort it takes to actually get it done. I think I'm the only dating coach in the world who is honestly telling you that, like, this is going to take a lot of effort and work. But there is nothing more painful than aging in this life and getting older and having nobody who genuinely loves you and cares for you. That is the darkest reality that a lot of men are going to face. Okay? I have met so many beautiful, lovely, amazing, gorgeous, feminine women in my life. Women who have cared for me when I was sick, women who have nursed me back to health after I've had all my surgeries. Okay? Women who have given me their literal entire life savings to help me make a payment on something. Obviously, I paid her back. Okay? Women who have done tremendous favors for me. All right? And it's all because I have game. It's all because I learned how to speak the language that women speak. I know how to communicate with them. You know, you ain't never gonna see some fucking messages or shit like this come out with me. You know what you're gonna find is like me cussing out some bitch that like fucking flaked on me and she's being a bitch. I was like, well, fuck you, you fat hoe. I was just trying to smash anyways, dumb bitch. You know, that's like the worst that's gonna come out about me. But you're never gonna see like some crazy simp ass messages or doing stupid shit like this, bro. Stupid shit. So fucking sad to see this. Why is this shit not working? Hold on. Let me, dude. Sorry, I'm trying to get the comments on the screen so I can be like, bro, this is so gay. Hold on, let me redo this. Uno momento, por favor. No live video found for modern life dating on Rumble. That's got to be wrong. Oh, you know what? I didn't hit the start button. Cooked. There's a lot of buttons you got to push back here. We'll get to it. I'm proud of myself for making all the changes. Okay, chat. Let's see. Somebody shoot a message. Saw Asmund Gold TV reacting to this chick fake crying on stream. I mean, I don't know if she's fake crying, but like, look, all I'm trying to say is if you date a girl, all right, and she goes public with your messages, or if you're dating a girl and she puts your messages into the group chat, that's a shit person in my opinion. Okay? That is a shit person in my opinion. Your relationship should be private. But you know, like I said, a lot of these girls are just pigs, man. Like the girls who do that kind of stuff, they're just pigs. They're pig people. You know, I'm not talking like physically how they look, even some of those are too. But like, guys, this is all men's fault. This is all men's fault. You know? Strong men create, where does it go? Let's start from the beginning. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. And weak men create hard times. And that's where we're going right now, boys. We're heading into the abyss. We're heading down. We are heading down. Can't deny history. You can't stop it. You know? So we're gonna pop in and check this video out. Now this guy Mizkif is the #1 culprit. Okay, it's his fault. It's his fault, and he has no game. All right, he has no game. He is a weird, simping little beta male. And you know, I'm just thinking like I just need to like what I've been thinking is I need to start a service to like meet ultra rich guys, ultra rich celebrities and talk to them from like a damage control perspective. Like let's not even get to damage control. Let's not get there. Let's do some preparation. All right? And Criminal Speed says, let's hear something we haven't heard before. That's old news. What are you talking about? How about you like speak with some clarity? Okay. In my vast audience of 52 people watching me live. But I will say this. Okay. If you actually want to learn, if you actually want to get better with women, you're going to learn a lot in this episode. I saw this and I immediately just wanted to go and talk about this. So, and look, I don't care who you are. You need help with women. Because again, if you don't have the woman of your dreams in your life right now, if you're not consistently meeting good quality people, that's all on you. You lack the skills. And look at yourself. Look at your age. How old are you? How many years have you been sexless? Right? How many times are you pulling off your fucking pants and jerking off to porn on yourself at home by yourself? How often are you doing that? When is enough going to be enough? Okay? The guys in my group are killing it. My guys are killing it. They are on the cold approach mission. Right? And it's going to take work and it's hard. But again, nothing's harder than heading to your inevitable death, knowing you will die and age alone with nobody by your side, nobody to come home to, no one to make you a coffee in the morning, no one to fucking scratch your head, no one to massage you, no one to make you some soup when you're sick, to go with you to your doctor's appointments. Okay? Let's talk about it. How about the crops rotting under Trump? What are you, what is wrong with you? Why would I talk about crops under Trump? Are you a fucking moron? You are a fucking moron. This guy right here, Criminal Speed, you're a criminal idiot, okay? And this is what guys who don't get pussy do. You talk about you're worried about the crops. You're worried about the fucking crops right now? When was the last time you had some titties in your mouth? I went out tonight not even trying to pick up chicks, and I was getting attention, looking like in my fucking my Louis Vuitton tattered up jersey, football jersey. Like, because once you got it, and there's a drought. Okay? When there's a drought of quality men. When there's no food on the shelf, you're gonna be crying. No, because I have a gun and I'll go shoot the bears in my neighborhood and eat them. Okay? I'm not a pussy like you. I've got a plan. Okay? So, if you could pull you couldn't pull a muscle. Okay? Shut up. Anyways, let's do this. Let's take a look here. Let's fucking have a gigantic.
I mean, you guys.
I don't know. I just don't like this whole going public thing that she's doing. I really don't like it. And especially when her full-time job is getting attention.
You guys can probably tell, but today's not gonna be a normal stream. Not gonna, watch videos or play games or anything today. I kind of just have a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about, and then I'm probably just gonna go offline after. But yeah, it's I mean, you guys know, I've been streaming for 10 years.
What? American women just talk like men. It's just so unappealing. Anyways, let's skip this shit.
And we obviously don't want them to happen, and things will be better. And I mean, I'm not gonna leave you guys because of something that someone else did. I mean, yeah, there's other places that I upload content, but Twitch is really my home. That's why through all of this, I feel like most people, I did make a tweet, but it was probably 10% of what I needed to say. A lot of people make a tweet, make a YouTube video. That's why I've chosen to do all of this live and raw, because
I knew this guy was a simp, but thank you for doing this. Hopefully you get it. Oh my god, these guys, bro. Oh my god, bro. We're outnumbered, bros. If you're a real nigga, bro, we're outnumbered by these twerps.
It's just what I'm most comfortable with and what I've always done. So, yeah. Oh, sorry, my like emotional voice is so ugly. Yeah. I don't know. It's just crazy. I just never thought things like this would happen or I'd ever be doing a stream like this. It just feels very strange because it's just very out of my element. I've never really like for the most part commented on drama or like self-inserted in situations, but I guess in this situation I'm kind of like stuck in the middle of it against my will. So it's like if I don't do it, who else is gonna do it?
Sounds like she got pressured to do this. And like so just so you guys know what the meta is, like it's almost like a purple heart for these chicks to be like, oh, I was something happened to me, I was SA'd. Like this just happened with another guy who I believe he was in OTK, which is like Asmongold's streaming community stuff too. And again, the girl accused him of all this stuff, and he had to spend all this money on lawyers. And then after a couple years, she's like, I'm just gonna drop the case. Oh, okay. So now doing the right thing and and remember when Amber Heard was playing, talking all that thing about Johnny Depp playing the victim, and she was actually the one. Okay. Now, I'm not saying this is the case with her, but you got to like read the tea leaves in these certain situations. And she says some shit here that like I personally like, it's just like, I don't know, bro. Like these bitches are fucking crazy sometimes. These bitches are fucking nuts. Y'all play it.
I'm just gonna take a second. It's a lot. Bro, like, I could have come home. I could have worked on beating Cinna and Clint's fucking Mega Bonk scores on my point. But I mean, there's always next year, right? Yeah, I appreciate it. I straight talking about really developed. I've already seen a lot of people speculating about what I'm going to be talking about, and some people have been right, but even for the people who were right, they were only like 5 to 10% right. I don't think I've seen a single person online who knew or understood the severity of what I want to talk about today. And I want everyone to be aware that I've been handling the situation very seriously, and I've spent a lot of time thinking this over. And not only that, I've been in contact with a lawyer. I had them review everything that I'm planning to say today, because I wanted to make sure that if I was going to do this, I was going to do it right, because it's so serious.
Did you call the police? That's all I want to know. Did you call police?
And I feel like it's gonna change things forever. And so today, I'm finally going to be opening up about and telling everyone sorry, I swear I'm not trying to like make this dramatic or something. Like I said, I really wish I were not feeling like I had to do this. Just give me some time.
This seems like, I feel like she was pressured to do this. This doesn't seem like, if you're compelled to do something, you're gonna do it. This is, in my opinion, this seems like she's fucking was, pushed to do this by probably a group of other fucking bitter bitches.
I'm gonna be doing a lot of, I guess you could say, like, fourth wall breaking in a way, and talking about things that I thought would always be personal, and just, I would just carry them myself. Today, I'm finally gonna be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I have attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue, and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done. And I have always believed in not condemning people or starting drama online. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be asking, why am I doing this and why now? And I would like to explain that before I get started so that people understand what prompted me to do this today, and that it's not just on a whim or something like that. Okay. So, like I said, I took a lot of notes, so forgive me if I just end up reading off my notes. The first and probably most severe reason is that one of the rules that I set for myself a long time ago about withholding this information was that if I ever felt like somebody else was in danger or being hurt, I would then make myself speak about it. And 2 weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago now, I was informed by 3 separate people, one of whom was present for said incident, that he had done something similar to something that he had done to me, and someone in LA at the end of September. And this person is not a streamer or content creator.
LA, okay. Here we go.
But obviously that does not matter. And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything. I think that most issues and dramas should stay private and off the internet. And I still hold that belief to this day, and I will hold that belief going forward. However, there are certain things that cross the line, and I say that the line has been crossed too many times to be count. There's a point where I believe that people deserve to know. I think that at a certain point, if you know a lot of things about someone and you don't say anything to look out for others, it's wrong. It's wrong to keep it to yourself. I don't want what happened to me or what has happened to other people because of him to happen to other people. And I don't believe he will ever stop behaving the way he does. But regardless, yeah, like I said, one of the main reasons I decided to do this stream is to come out about all of this, because I can't hold on to it any longer, because it feels wrong to do so. And an honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him. I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably going to come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet.
Oh man, you mentioned animals, and you got all the white women running. They'll abort 900 babies in a row, but the moment you hurt one animal, they're like, ah! So cooked. Here we go again.
Okay. So now that I've explained all the reasons why this took so long and why I made the decision to do this stream.
So hold on, let's see. So first of all, the big thing she's complaining about here, I haven't watched this. I heard one part, and I'm talking about the SA part, and I saw some of the text messages. That's where Mizkif is a dumbass. Okay, he's a dumbass. You know, and like these guys are just fucking, they're all fucking losers, man. Like, you got all this clout, you got all this money, and you got no game, and nobody tells anybody anything, because it's like Twitch is just this one big circle jerk of girls acting like whores and dudes simping after them, and they're all hooking up with each other, and a lot of these people are pieces of shit, like fucking Hassan, who's like shocking his fucking dog, bro. Shocking his dog. What a piece of shit. And they said like his previous dog had a choke chain on it, and the dog had a big gash on its neck. Like, and they're all screaming free Palestine. Like, all virtue signaling. Like, the harder somebody tries to fucking say that they're a good person, there's a more likely chance that they're actually a gigantic piece of shit. Like, I am a genuinely good person, but how many times am I on my fucking stream talking about like, I'm a good person, guys. I'm a good person, guys. I'm a good person. Like, no. Okay? And, you know, the guy who like ran up on her on TwitchCon, right? A lot of these chicks are like, you know, fucking provocatively dressing sexy, doing this shit for clicks, and then they attract perverts. And they're like, oh my god, the humanity. It's like, well, duh. It's like if you're selling drugs, then you're like, oh, why are all these junkies coming around me? You fucking retarded.
I have a few more things I would like to get out of the way before I start talking about all of this. The way that I'm gonna do this today is I'm gonna run through everything from the beginning to the end to try to get across the story as accurately and fully as I can. And, hold on. I'm also going to be showing a few screenshots validating what I'm saying. I have more things, but this is what I felt comfortable using today. And,
Today? Oh no. Oh no. Is there a part 2?
I will be running through those later. Another thing that I'd like to mention before I start is that during my statement, I'm going to be mentioning directly the names of about half a dozen other creators who were present for certain things. And I want to say that none of these people did anything wrong. I'm just saying that they were there, and I've asked all of them permission. They all said that it was fine to include their names, but I know this won't stop everyone, but I ask people, for the streamers that I mentioned, please don't go bothering them or asking them for more information. If there's something else that they want to say, they'll say it themselves, so there's no point to go pester them and bother them about it. There are also streamers who gave me permission to share things that they relayed to me privately, but asked me to redact their names, which I, of course, did. And the last thing that I want to make clear is that not every person that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of all of these things. And in fact, most of them didn't. And some of them didn't even know anything at all. I tried to keep things private with my close friends, but if anyone during the past year ever approached me asking questions, I didn't lie and I told them the truth. But yeah, I don't want there to be some kind of witch hunt like, oh, you know, you knew and this. No, a lot of people, you know, didn't know everything or didn't know anything. Okay. I think that's all that I have to get out of the way to start. So, this is public information. I initially moved in. Sorry. I'm still sick, like I said. This is all public, obviously this part. I moved in with him. I believe it was the end of 2021 because he offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having stalker issues in Kansas, and I mean, you guys know like all the stuff that happened there. I ended up joining the org and everything. We did a lot of streams together. And I mean, a lot of people already know this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022 after I joined OTK. I'm not planning to go into too much detail about the start of the relationship because it honestly doesn't really matter at this point. It's irrelevant now. The only things that really matter that you guys need to know for the story are that it was, one, an extremely private relationship. It was even hidden from friends and people in the org, but I mean, obviously people all eventually figured it out. They're not fucking stupid. And second, it was an extremely codependent relationship, which it's not the.
And he had more clout than her at the time, and you know, that's what a lot of these chicks do. They'll start dating a guy that has more clout than them, you know, and he's moving her in. Like I said, it's all just one big, thick transactional hookup thing that they all do, you know. Yeah.
Issue, but let's just, you know, making that clear for details. He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was very nice to girls and wanted to help me feel safe from stalkers and wanted me to succeed as a teammate.
So right there, the White Knight, guys. The White Knight is usually the most scummiest person there is, right? The sneaky fucker game, you know? Oh, you have stalker issues. Oh, you know, listen. I believe all women. I support women's causes. Yeah, Brick's logo in the chat. He says, so she said he threatened to smear her reputation, so she decided to do it first, I guess. Dude, this feels like she was pressured to do this. I'm telling you, bro, those chicks wear, like, when they claim they get SA'd in LA, they like wear like a purple heart, bro. It's like, oh, it was just happening. It's like, it's almost like Vogue for them, dude.
And we grew very close over time, and I was very dependent on him for
Clout.
feelings of safety, social life, like my stream, my job, everything.
Clout. This is what happens when you get, like, this is for women too. When you get in transactional relationships and you betray who you are to get something from another person, now everybody's fucked up. this is unhealthy on both ends. Okay.
So yeah, besides it being a very codependent relationship, the start of it was fine. I saw a lot of people mentioning this. They thought this was what I was going to talk about. It's not a secret. I think everyone who paid attention knew that he was very controlling over what I wore, to a degree, who I was friends with, and even when I would stream. So, when...
Well, okay, hold on. The streaming, like, maybe he's like, okay, well, if you're gonna go on the same time as me or something, like, I don't know, bro. I've just seen so much shit get pushed in the mainstream by women who claimed all these terrible things happen that I'm not just gonna lay down and immediately believe 100% that everything that comes out of her mouth. I see a lot of people doing that, right? But they're also big streamers, so you know they have to like suck woke dick and be like, "Oh, believe all women, believe all women."
It was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruise very easily.
Yeah, that's not okay.
He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, you know, was like, oh,
that if that is true, that's not okay. You can't be throwing bitches. You can't be throwing shit at your woman's face, bro. Like, or you can't just be doing that. You can't be doing that. That's not okay. Yeah, Basil Denson X Fit. He says she should have went to the police first. 100%. 100%. 100%. Yeah, Brick's logo says she put this whole script but couldn't submit a police report straight to the lawyer for clout money. I don't know. Maybe she did file a police report, but I don't like when they don't go to the police. I'm kind of like, eh. But you'll hear what she says was the SA. Watch, you'll see. It's in my opinion, I don't know. It's a reach.
It's an accident, and I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident. Like, you know, of course I'm not gonna think that, you know, he's... Yeah, I just... At the time, I just kind of was, you know, I just brushed it off, and looking back now, I feel like that was kind of the start of him, testing my boundaries, if that makes sense. So that was already kind of starting to show signs within the first 6 months of me and him being close. And then, again, a very public situation. The end of 2022, the cover-up allegations happened. I mean, yeah, like I said, all that's public. You can find all that, see like what I said during that, everything. After that happened, his behavior started getting a lot worse, which, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. You know, he was very stressed. A lot of stuff was happening, but the bad behavior was ramping up, and I feel like it's so apparent if, like, you know, you go back and watch anything from that time. I tried so hard to help him and be there for him because I really believed in him, and I wanted him to, you know, get better and get back on his feet and be the person that, you know, I always believed that he was. But that...
So that's true. When a woman does love you, okay? Because she clearly did at some point, right? They're gonna try to help you. When a woman genuinely likes you, like if you got yellow teeth, she's gonna be like, "Hey, I got this like tooth whitener. Maybe we could whiten your teeth." Right? If you have like bad skin, she'll be like, "Oh, hey, I brought you this pimple medicine. Maybe it can help you out." If you're like, "Oh, I'm hungry," and she realizes like you really love medium rare steak, she'll learn. She'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna learn how to cook medium rare steak because that's what my man likes." Okay, so she definitely there was some genuine love there for sure, in my opinion, from what she's talking about. Who knows? This shit was prepared by a lawyer too. Fucking, we could all be fucking got, you know. God damn it. Well, that was scuffed. Oh, Bills, you're fired. Where are you, Bills? You gotta fix this shit. But yeah, this long ass fucking, Dear Diary thing is kind of, I don't know, bro. Like I said, it to me. How about now? There we go. Is that clean? Chat, what do you think? What do you think, chat? This whole going public about stuff is just, I don't know. Anyways, let's continue.
Unfortunately, did not really happen. For a long time, I think about a year and a half from when that all happened, it was kind of like slow things getting worse. But I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna bother going into the details of all of that because there's just too much to cover, and it's honestly kind of not really relevant to the rest of what I'm saying because the rest of what I want to say is a lot worse. There was a point where things really took a turn for the worst. Like, it felt like, like a very delicate branch just kind of snapped. So, and again, a lot of people are like vaguely aware of this, but I'll explain it for people who aren't, chronically tapped into all that stuff. So for a long time after the like cover-up allegations happened and he was like starting to kind of struggle on his stream, he never wanted to stream at the same time as me. Like, we really avoided it. And to me at the time, it made sense because, I was like, well, of course, like, we share a lot of community members. If we're live at separate times, we're both going to perform better. It makes sense. But, yeah, we were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time, with the exception of, like, things like events or sponsors or, like, just special things. For a very long time, and a lot of you guys probably noticed that I would only usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was, because of him. And now I stream whenever I want, but the first time that we ever streamed at the same time was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch. We were sharing drops, so it was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time doing the same thing, basically. I know you're probably like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? But it'll make sense in a bit. So I'm live, he's live, we're both streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public. There are clips of this. We're both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought everyone was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out. We're gonna have fun. Like, I was really, really excited. And then I start seeing in my chat people start saying, unofficial Ms. raid, and I'm like, what does that mean?
What she leaves out, though, about this whole, because I'm doing some research on the side. So apparently, so she moved into that house on January 2021. And apparently Mizkif was dating this chick, Maya Higa. And they broke up in September 14th, 2021. Kind of left that part of the story out, huh? The plot thickens. Interesting, interesting, interesting.
And then I check my Discord messages, and he's messaging me. He's saying, like, Emmy, you know, I'm gonna kill myself. I waited, or I'm gonna KMS. I waited so long for this, etc. Basically, he was upset because I had higher viewership than him. That's literally it. I had higher viewership than him. And like I said, this is during an event, so there were...
What a loser. What a loser. That's just... yeah, and again, like, you see? When guys want to forsake... Okay? When you build your masculinity on anything other than frame, you are building your house on a foundation of sand. Okay? Money, muscles, game, definitely what things you want to be working on. These are the core 4 components of masculinity as a man. Okay? Make money, make muscles, and make muscles is just being physically fit and having a general idea of fitness so you don't become a fat fuck like the majority of people in America. Game, so you don't end up like this dipshit. And then frame is the foundation for it all. Okay? I could lose everything today, and it would suck, but it would not be the end-all be-all. I watched when I was coaching Myron, and he was working with me in 2019, and then he started Fresh and Fit, and he blew up. I watched their numbers grow and grow and grow and grow, and I was like, oh my God, he's better than me. I was just like, I'm just happy I'm not poor anymore. I'm happy for my friends, you know? And I'll continue to be happy for them. But it just shows you the guys just, you don't, every guy, if you forsake these components of your life, right? You're only going to forsake yourself. All right? To get good at making money, to get good at making muscles, to get good at having a game and holding frame, it's painful and it's hard to do. Okay? It's very hard to do. But if you don't do it later in life, it's going to be even more painful. You have to go through pain in life. If you're avoiding pain now by avoiding rejection, avoiding studying and learning how to make money, avoiding going to the gym and taking care of your body, avoiding frame, right? You're going to have short-term pleasure now, but you're going to have exponential pain later in your life. I coach a lot of guys that are in their early 40s, mid 40s, late 40s, early 50s. They forsake game their whole life. And then now they're like, fuck, dude, the walls are closing in on me, man. I can't find a good girl. I can't find a good girl. It's like, yeah, because you squandered your life. Like, for you young guys watching me right now, I'm telling you, life passes you by so quickly. I used to hear that when I was in my 20s, and I'd be like, shut up, old man. And now I'm the guy saying it. Now I'm the 39-year-old. I'm going to be 40. That's fucking crazy. For me to say I'm going to be 40 on December 2nd, guys. That's crazy. But I will always be the cool uncle, the older big bro for you guys, forever in service to you gentlemen. Okay? It is an honor to serve you. Right? And, you know, if you... like a lot of guys, especially these young guys, the Zoomers in this generation, there's so many distractions. You know, the millennial guys, they really bought into the shit too. You know, I thank God every day that I worked hard. You know, when I first started my YouTube channel, okay, I had one YouTube channel, and I had this guy that lived with me, right? He was a guy from high school, and his parents always bailed him out. He's always getting DUIs. His mom's always giving him money, like just fucked up white guy, right? And I remember I was just always telling him, like, yeah, I'm gonna make it on YouTube one day. I'm gonna make it on YouTube one day. I'm gonna make it on YouTube one day. Guys, by the way, smash the like button. Why the hell do we only have 27 likes? All right, I can talk to every single one of you directly and say, God, get the fucking likes up, okay? But you know, he would tell me, he's like, why are you're so obsessed. You're so obsessed with making money. You're so obsessed with wanting to become successful on YouTube. It's crazy, man. You're like not normal, dude. You're just so obsessed. And I was like, why aren't you obsessed? Why aren't you putting in the work? Why aren't you doing this right now? Why not? Why not? Anytime a man tells me, I don't need to move fast. Anytime I see a deal with a guy that doesn't move fast, I know I'm dealing with an amateur. I know that there's no justification about it, okay? There's two types of people in this life. There's people who get shit done quickly, efficiently. Those reliable people. Those are the people you got to hold onto your team, hold on to your fucking friendships. Reliable people. When they say they're going to be there at 6, they're there at 6. They say they got you, they fucking got you. Those people truly are the salt of the earth. And then there's the other side. It's just, hey, you know, this kind of laissez-faire attitude. Hey, if that's life you want to live, that's fine. I'm happy when I meet people like that. I'm like, because just one less asshole in the way, you know. So, my message to you guys: if you think you got time, you think everything's gonna work out, hey, it's not. It's not gonna work out. It'll work out if you put in the effort. It'll work out if you fucking do the thing. What you got to do consistently over a long period of time. You know, one of the kids that I'm coaching right now, the guy Kaiser in the chat, he's always talking, right? So in the monthly coaching, there's some scripts that I wrote up for him to do his cold approaches. And I took time out of my day to write these approaches and to write this in. Okay, one thing he does, and here's a gem for all you guys. He would walk up to girls and be like, hey, the first thing he would say is, hey, I think you're really attractive. What are you doing on Halloween? And it's just like, dude, these women are going to think you're a fucking psychopath. They're going to think you're a fucking killer. And I told him multiple times, you have to build rapport. You got to have a little chit chat. You got to have a little back and forth. And then he wasn't doing it. And he's like, I don't get it. What's going on? I'm like, what's going on is you're not following instructions. Like, what's going on is I told you to do something and you're not doing it, so you're not getting the results. You know, he was saying something along the lines of, you know, and I respect the kid. I do. I really do. Because he's taking it like a man. But he's like, hey, like, how do I stop mumbling when I go up to the girls? And I was like, stop fucking mumbling. He's like, I freeze when I talk to them. I'm like, okay, don't freeze. Have some confidence. Shoot your shot. And it's hard for him because he's never done it before. But he's taking the steps and he's 22 years old. And he's going to figure this out if he doesn't quit. How many times have you guys ran away and you seen a beautiful girl and you just talk to yourself, oh, I'm not that interested. Oh, yeah, she's fucking, well, you know, I'll talk to another girl next time. How many times? How many times you get your paycheck and you're like, oh, I'm going to save money this time, I swear. You just blow it all. Eating that Uber Eats, you know you shouldn't be eating. Overspending at the bar, you know? What's up, Construct Interviews? Good to hear you before I go head to work. Hey, man, I respect you. If you're waking up this early to go to work, Brody, you have my respect, sir. I salute you. Get out there, make it happen. You know, guys like you are hardworking men. You have my respect, sir. You know, but this guy Mizkif, obviously, he's got no frame. Like I said, I could lose everything today. It'll fucking suck. I'll probably, you know, have like a micro meltdown, because if you lose everything, I mean, come on, let's be honest, you know, you're gonna lose you're gonna have a little bit of a meltdown, right? But it really wouldn't bother me. It really wouldn't bother me that much, you know? Because I have good frame. I know who I am, right? Just like how lately, you know, my stream numbers haven't been too high. Trying to figure out what's going on with the channel. We have suspicions that it's a shadow ban. You know, I've been contacting YouTube, but do you ever see me, like, has the quality of the streams dropped? Like, for you guys that have been consistently coming through? No, I get on here, I give it my go, I give it my all every single time. You know? The views are nice. Do I like having a lot of views? Of course. What the fuck? Who doesn't? Who doesn't? You know? But it doesn't like make or break me. I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna KMS. You know? I make jokes about it, but I'm like, it's good. You know? I got some rich friends. If I lost my job or if I lost the channel and for some reason there was a just cascading amount of negative events, I have enough rich friends that make, like, you know, they're like decamillionaire plus. I just be like, hey man, can I like do your digital marketing or something? You pay me like 100 grand a year, and like I'll work out a rev deal and be like, I'll just generate you a lot of money, and I'll just be like a digital marketer shadow man behind the scenes, or like just get really good with AI and run like a faceless business. You know, because I'm just happy I'm not poor. Like a lot of these guys, they need all this clout. They need all the extra money. They need all that because they're kind of empty inside. You know? But I have what I need. Like I don't need to lead with clout. I have never ever. I know this can maybe you guys may not believe me, but I have never ever in my entire life led with clout, because my clout is actually anti-clout for women, right? Unless there's like when Red Pill was going super viral and I was going viral in 2023, chicks were just in my DMs. That was fucking lit. I'm glad that I got to experience that before I died, because it was like being famous. I had a lot of girls hitting me up and be like, I loved how you put that bitch in her place, and trash talking that girl from whatever podcast. Girl, I remember this chick that had an amazing body. This Canadian chick. She was Portuguese, but she was white like this shirt, pink nipples, and she was hitting me up, and she was like, I never even met her. We were just talking back and forth. And she's like, where are you going? I'm like, I got to go to London to do this podcast with Just Pearly Things. And she was like, okay, I'll meet you there. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. You know, complete stranger. Stayed with me in London. We had sex like rabbits for the longest time. And then I had some other Brazilian chick was sending me her tits. And then I was having a lot of sex. It was a good time. You know, but I like, it's like it's not anything out of the ordinary because I was getting pussy since I was fucking, 17. It's just, it is what it is, you know? But this guy's like, oh my God, you got more views than me. I'm going to end it. No frame, no game. It gets worse. Let's go back. Does this buttons work? Hold on. Lit. What the hell is this ghetto shit? Why'd that do that? Hold on. Man, Stream Deck, Elgato products suck, bro. Anyways, let's go back to this.
For drops, like everyone knows when there's drops, like it's not even fucking real, but yeah, he starts messaging me, he's really upset. I tried to tell him, I was like, bro, you should come back and play. Everyone's having fun.
Gross. Girls who say bro is just so manly. God, just fucking strap a dick on.
Everyone's like wondering where you are. But yeah, he ended his stream. And then I'm still live, trying to act like nothing's wrong. And in that house, I had a glass door so I could like see this was happening. He was walking behind me, making sure that I knew he was there. And by the way, so there were many ways out of that house if he wanted to leave the house that were closer to his stream room. He intentionally chose the door that was right by my room. I feel like that's pretty apparent, at least to me. He starts walking behind my stream and slamming the door so loud that my noise gate can pick it up. So even people on my stream are able to hear this is happening. And he slams it so hard and so many times that the front door literally broke. The lock did not work anymore. It didn't work for months, and it would just make this horrible sound that I would have to hear like every fucking day. But anyway, so I hear him back there doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I tell my stream, I'm like, hey, guys, I'll be right back. I get up and I go talk to him, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, Emmy, like, I hate all of you guys. Like, all you guys do is just take from me, and like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. And I was like, is this like really happening because of rush drops? And he was like, I don't know what else to do. He was like going off on me, like basically saying that he hated me. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do now. And he was like, go finish your stream so that people don't know anything's wrong.
Beta! Really, nigga?
And, I stop in the bathroom outside my stream room, and I'm like, checking my makeup, trying to make sure people can't tell that I was like crying. And, I'm only in there for like 30 seconds, and he comes and like looms in the doorway. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just checking my makeup. So I go back and, I stream for a couple hours, to finish the stream. Do my best, to just like, carry on the show basically.
She talks like a man. It's just so like so unattractive.
And yeah, after that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad. It was like something just snapped. For the rest of the week, he streamed the Rust event. He got all the drop viewers. I'm sure he was very happy. I mean, good for him. And during that time, I obviously was like thinking and processing a lot of what happened. But I mean, it was a lot because this person was at the time like kind of it was like my partner and my best friend and like the only person that like I really talked to ever, or like at least off stream. So I mean, it was just it was a lot.
See what that thirst for clout got you? A psychopath.
But the very next stream, I went live about a week after that, and I announced that I was planning to move because I knew that I would have to move. So I was like, okay, I have to go live and say this so that, you know, kind of force myself to commit to it. Right? Does that make sense? Obviously, I didn't move out right away, but after like all of that rough stuff happened was when the other domestic abuse stuff really started. He would destroy furniture in front of me. He would throw things in front of me and near me.
Is that domestic abuse? Destroying furniture in front of you is domestic abuse now?
Really, nigga?
Destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom. The holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour, and like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die, like threatening to kill both of us. And
So there's like a million warning signs for you to fucking leave, but you didn't fucking leave. No, you're a fucking dumb bitch. Like, what is going on here? Like, there's like literally a fucking myriad of events that have been like, you should leave, you should go now, you should go now. Like, what is going on here? Why did we not leave?
this wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video, and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer, and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh, yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it.
What a pussy. What a fucking pussy. Oh man. But I'm still confused why she stayed. Like, why did you stay? Like, there clearly were warning signs. Like, what's going on here? And I just like how she casually left out the fact that she was in the she moved in on January, and then he called it off with his ex in September. And it's like, we're leaving out some details here to kind of paint you in a better light, you know? And then Andrew from Legal Mindset, graduate of my coaching and masculine empowerment network, he says, taking a neutral, purely legal stance on the Emiru Mizkif case, Emiru needs to take some form of IRL action, whether police report, lawsuit, or workplace harassment claim could be considered coworkers. Else, Mizkif can hit her with defamation, which is no joke in Texas. You know? Ay, ay, ay. She says she's working on getting a restraining order. I don't know. I don't know, bro.
Then at home, other things would happen. Like, I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time that I walked into a room that he was in, and as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better. So basically, I felt like I was kind of stuck in a loop where I felt like I had to constantly perform and like prove my value to not be thrown away. But at the
and again, she's reading from a script.
same time, if I ever performed too well, I was gonna be punished for it. And it just felt like a very rough situation to be stuck in because, I mean, streaming is my hobby and my job. Like, it's a huge part of my life, even before, you know, I met him and became like a larger creator. And
let's hear that again.
streaming is my hobby and my job. Like, it's a huge part of my life, even before, you know, I met him and became like a larger creator.
So she moved in the house, blew up in clout after moving in the house with him. He was in a relationship with the girl while she moved in. That relationship ended. She started getting on the clout. See all these red flags. No. Driving 150 miles an hour. Hitting her in the head with a fucking water bottle. Hitting her in the eye with the fucking iPhone that gets her a black eye. Smashing the door. Breaking it. Crashing out multiple times. Punching holes in the wall.
And I remember thinking all the time how it felt like he hated me, but he still wanted me around for his channel and like his thumbnails and everything. And this is still before I moved out. There was a time where it was the tension in the house was so unbearable that I would sneak out and I would sneak into Esfan's house using my code. And Esfan didn't know why I was doing this. He saw me a couple times. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go take a nap in your guest room. He'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I would sneak into Esfan's house just to have some time of like peace and quiet. But eventually, he figured out where I was going, and he would go over to Esfan's house to keep telling me off. And there was a time that he did it, and I was laying in the guest room bed, and one of the roommates in that house had come to see like why I was crying, and they were standing in the corner, and he came in, and he was very physically aggressive. He was like, Emmy, like, what are you doing? Like, angry. And then as soon as he turned and saw this other person standing there, he instantly like deflated and changed his tone. He was like, oh, Emmy, I was wondering where you were. Like, are you coming home? And that roommate like later asked me about it, and they're like, what the fuck was that? Like, are you okay? And I was just like, oh, it's nothing, because I felt like a lot of the reason that I didn't tell the people around me was because
I wanted clout.
I felt like no one would understand, or even if they understood, it would just be a burden to them, because all of our streams and social circles and communities are so intertwined, I was like, maybe it's just better for me to deal with this and like hope things get better, basically.
Hope things get better, huh? What did I tell you guys earlier this week? You think it got better? It's a human flaw, this whole, it's gonna get better, it's gonna get better, I promise, it's gonna get better.
I honestly don't even remember what the final straw was that I finally was like, okay, it's time to go. Like, I prepared the house that I lived in before this one, like, pretty much immediately after the, like, breaking the front door thing happened, but I was still, like, scared and unsure. So I don't remember what the final straw was, but I remember the day I took Cheddar to the house, because he just randomly started, like, screaming at Cheddar and was like, get that fucking cat out of my house. So I just grabbed Cheddar and put him in my car and grabbed his litter box and took him there, and I just left him there and never took him back to that house. And then I think like within several days after that was when I finally moved out. It was on very short notice. Like I said, I don't even remember what the final straw was because so many things happened, but there was a time when I just knew. I called some movers, I said, hey, can you come tomorrow? And they're like, yeah, and then I literally moved the next day. Moving out into the last house that I lived in was a huge step mentally because, like I said, a big part of why I moved into the first house in Texas in the first place was because I felt like it was the safest option for me because, you know, I am a girl where it's like kind of scary for me to be living alone. So it was very hard, and at the time, even though like all these other things had already happened, I was very hopeful that me and him could be cordial and like eventually like things would be fine, at least publicly, like for stream reasons, that, you know, everyone could just keep streaming like nothing had happened. And, you know, at the time I thought that would be the best thing to do, and I felt like if I, you know, separated myself from him without explaining anything, people that watched us wouldn't understand and would attack me. I was yeah, I mean, it ended up happening anyway, so, but yeah. After I moved out, we, like I said, still kept in contact. I had hope that somehow things would get better. He would always beg for me to come back, and he would promise therapy and change and, like, even talk to other people and, like, kind of present, like, oh, I want to change, I want to be better for Emmy or whatever, you know? There was, a short period in October where we had broken up because, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter now. And when that happened, I honestly felt relieved because I was like, okay, finally, it's like on his terms. So that means he'll be satisfied and he'll be able to say it was his choice and he'll leave me alone. Because whenever I would try to push for it, it just felt like I couldn't like really sever it, if that makes sense. But I mean, obviously, hence me doing the stream, that was not the end of it. A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk for closure. He came to my house and
Really, nigga?
I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. He so yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants, and I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go. And he immediately left my house while I was still crying.
That is the SA that she's talking about, but she said they had just broken up. And like, you know, her saying aggressively, I just don't down. He's gonna shove his hand down there. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It sounds like didn't she just say they just broke up like a day ago? Okay. Let me go back to this.
And talk from closure. Like push for it. It just felt like I couldn't like really sever it, if that makes sense. But I mean, obviously, hence me doing the stream, that was not the end of it. A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk for
Okay, 1 week after the breakup, okay? Fucking Christ, dude. Like, let's be honest. A lot of people, after they officially break up, they go back and have sex together a couple times. Like, that's not like an uncommon thing. And you're acting like this guy hadn't been up all inside you before. And you let him kiss you, and then he puts his hands down your pants. She's using the word aggressively, which was written down for her lawyer to say this. Okay? And then when she screamed, which I don't know why you would fucking, like, scream. Like, unless this guy's, like, fucking trying to fucking hit her with, like, the Stone Cold Stunner down there. You know, you're letting him kiss you. He makes the move that he's probably made the move 1,000 of times before. He screams. You scream. He stops. That's SA.
Really, nigga?
1 week after the breakup.
closure. He came to my house and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him.
Just remember, guys, she's reading her whole fucking script. She's reading the script prepared to her for her by a lawyer. And lawyers are not to be trusted.
He so yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then suddenly he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying without checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like, you know, making things weird for viewers. I know that probably sounds crazy, but like I just felt this pressure, like I had to try to keep things together, if that makes sense. I felt like I'd caused trouble for so many other people if I ever said anything bad about him, or if I caused rifts in our friend group or streamer group. I tried to stay on good terms with him and hold everything in, and also I still cared about him a lot, and I still at that point had hope that things would get better and that, you know, he would improve. And he'd also always hammer into me how he never physically abused me because he never hit me, and he would coach me and tell me to tell people or other streamers who were asking about it because they were concerned. He would say, tell them that I never hit you. Make sure that they know that I never hit you. Around the same time, this was during OnlyFans 2, so I guess like December-ish. He would often message me in the middle of my streams and berate me for things like playing the same class as him in WoW because he thought it would make people think that I was better than him. And again, like I said earlier, I felt like I was stuck in a constant loop where I had to perform well to not be thrown away, but if I performed too well, I was gonna be punished. And I actually wanted to show some of those messages. Because obviously a lot of these things out kind of, you know, I guess live. While I'm live,
So
means that it's so much better. The people.
this is foul right here. This is foul. And this, the way she's doing this with the script and the doxing of the messages here. This is foul. That's him whining about the shit. But I want to show you the messages he sent about, like, apparently he's stalking her.
More to collab with any of you. And him saying that was the final straw for me. The day that he said that to me about other people was the first day that I ever, for the first time, started to ignore his calls and messages. And because of that, he even threatened to come to my house if I didn't answer. But I did end up calling him back, and I spoke to him. And I basically told him that I felt like I could finally see things for what they were. And he started panicking, and he was super apologetic, and he was saying he didn't want to lose me, which wasn't the first time that he, like, did something like that and was, like, you know, basically begging me not to leave.
Beta!
But that was definitely the most extreme time. And again, like I said, I always had the hope that things would be cordial, or that, you know, we could be fine with each other, so I agreed, and we agreed we were going to talk about all of that. We talked about it about a week later, and instead of apologizing for anything, he basically told me that he realized he needed to go to Japan and LA to get his viewership back up, and he was basically too young to focus on friendships and relationships. And it was I mean, despite everything, like I said, I still cared about him, so it was still hard. And I mean, it was like a mix of feelings, you know, like I was devastated, but I was also so relieved. But because of the past incidents during like other
construct interview says, if this is all true, why didn't she go to the cops instead of reading from a script? Good question.
Fights and times I would try to separate myself from him. Past incidents during those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances, sexually assaulting me, the abuse, and just him generally not being a very nice person. After that, I decided that the only solution and way for me to move forward, I made the hard decision, but I know now for sure the right one, was to finally completely cut contact with him. I knew it'd be very hard because our careers and our communities were so intertwined, but I knew that I had to do it and that there was no other choice. So
I love how she's like, I knew I had to cut contact with him, and the reason would, like, a regular girl would be like, the reason was because I loved him, we had a great time together, but I knew it was time for us to move on. She's like, our communities were intertwined, and, you know, I still got to do work with this guy.
Bombocat!
I have not spoken to him since January of this year. It's been 10 months. But, you think that's the end? It is, unfortunately not. I haven't spoken to him since January of this year. It only took a couple of weeks, but soon the messages started. He has attempted to contact me over 40 times individually, this year in individual texts, Discord messages, Instagram DMs, and phone calls. And I'm just gonna show those.
Foul.
And at first, it starts simple, be confusing messages, or like him expressing he was worried about things. Like, at first it wasn't anything weird.
Alright, let me try and read these. Hold on.
First it wasn't anything weird.
Can we please communicate so I don't feel isolated and hated by my own organization? I just want to be okay with each other. I feel like our streams and lives, we shouldn't have this feeling. I came home and feel terrible. It feels so odd that I cannot talk to you or anyone and just know what's happening. 12:40 a.m. Can you please respond? Next, then it's Wednesday, 10 o'clock at night. I understand we'll leave you alone, but would really appreciate we can talk. I won't text you again after this. Just really want to talk if possible. Oh, here, actually, hold on. We missed that one. What the hell is she doing, bro? All right, hold on. What is this fucking bitch doing this shit for?
At first it starts simple. Like, at first it wasn't.
Can we please talk, Emmy? Can we talk tomorrow? And she said 40 times. She doesn't like you, bro. Move on. This is what happens. This is what happens, bro. They will clown you. They will clown you. They will clown you. She is already fucking a new guy, for sure. For sure. If this happened in January, she's been getting tossed up. Hey, I found out you weren't going to the party. I know I wouldn't want to go, but I didn't do invites. You're invited, of course. I hope you're doing okay, and one day we can talk. Wednesday, March 19th, 9:22 a.m. Waking up first thing. Emmy, can we please talk? I really need to tell you things. I'm so sorry for the past few months. I'm so sorry for so much that happened. I needed this time to be alone. I really love you so much. I just needed to know what being alone, and I learned I need you. I don't want to be without you. I regret so much that I hurt you and left, but I knew I needed it. Oh, so fucking gay. Gay.
Gay.
Bro, if a woman ignored me like this, I'd be like, man, fuck that bitch. You rude cunt. You fucking ignoring me like this? But he was also acting like a psychopath. But the guy just can't, like, he's so cooked. He has no game. He doesn't get it. And guess what? He's never gonna get it. You think this fucking dipshit... I'm actually kind of glad this shit happened. Maybe he could be publicly humiliated and forced into fucking, like, you know, reeling, like, what the deal is, man. Like, because he's a real dumbass. And yeah, good old Bukkake, he says, observe the Jumbotron rule. Yep. Every text message you send a bitch, you got to be sure it's okay to be on the Jumbotron at the Super Bowl. Excuse me. But the Jumbotron for you European guys is like when the fucking, you know, when that big screen at the football arena. Cooked. Medium well. Fuck that. Well done. Well done. What's up, Happy? You good? Shit, this is getting nice and chilly. Guys, I'm about to get solar panels at my house, and I have to pay no electricity. I'm gonna blast this fucking AC and destroy the planet. It's gonna be lit. And this is fucking evil. This is fucking evil. That, like, this is evil. there better be a good reason for you to be showing these fucking messages. Cause this is evil. This is not cool, bro. This, like, if you claim to love somebody and they do this shit to you, you're a vile person. You are a fucked up individual. I understand he did this shit, and maybe when she's trying to get her comeuppance, but this is just makes you look bad too. There's no fucking, like, why are you, like, take this to the police. Take this to the police. Why are you shaming this man? And you know what that makes me know? She didn't genuinely like this guy. It was transactional. Because if they genuinely loved you, they don't do shit like this after the breakup. And bro, Doc, why are we not acting like this girl's not a fucking hoe? Like, I'm supposed to believe that this is like just a good-hearted, good old chick, and you're fucking naked on like all your photos, basically. Come on. Come on. Like, again, this is the Instagram. Okay. Tits out. Tits out. Tits out. Tits out. Crotch showing. Tits out. Tits out. Tits out. Tits out. Tits out. Tits not out, but let's see contestant number 2. Okay. Provocative. Tits out. Tits out. Tits out. Her friend's cute. Look how tiny she is. I think I like her friend more than her. I don't know who the fuck this bitch is. Tits out. Tits out. Tits out. Again, provocative. Tits out. Tits out. Tits out. Basically naked right there. Tits out again. That's a nice car. I drove that car before. Tits out. Oh, she had a wholesome straight. No, there he goes. Tits out. Tits out. Sexy. Tits out again. Tits out. Tits out. Side boob, bra showing. Tits out. Tits out. Like,
really, nigga?
just like the demon you are. All right, let's read this. I learned I need you. I don't want to be without you. I regret so much that I hurt you and I left, but I know I needed it. Please call me. I haven't stopped thinking about you in months. I know I want it. And I know what I want, and it's you and only you. Oh my God. Beta. Okay. Guys, here's the thing. If you have game, 1, you'd understand the bitch doesn't like you. And 2, if you had like any semblance of self-respect, okay? If I was reaching out to a girl months and months and months and months, and she was just so cold-hearted not to reply to me, I'd be like, man, what a bitch. Fuck this hoe. I don't like her. Like, that's like a form of like disrespect to a degree. You get what I'm saying? Like, if someone's gonna ignore you, like, I would be like, damn, this bitch is really fucking cold-hearted. You know, and I wouldn't like that. I'd be like, all right, fuck this hoe. I'm out of here. You know? I've been nothing but miserable without you. I love you, Emmy. And if you take me back, I want us to be a real relationship. I want us to go on dates, to live together, to plan our lives. I want so much. And I think this guy has a new fucking girlfriend too. He was in Tokyo with some other Asian bitch. I want so much with you. Just please for me. I wrote out a lot of how I feel. I've been writing so much and just learned so much about myself. Just please, if you can hear me out. I love you so much, Emmy. I've been crying every night without you, and I'm sorry I've done any of this. I've been so depressed without you. Just please call me. I'll be up. I will do anything for you. I will come home from Japan right now for you. Can you answer me, Emmy? Just tell me you have moved on. Hey, will you be willing to talk? That's April 11th. And then May 5th. Hey, you know it's been a while. I just want to say I'm going back to Austin next week, and I think you and I should at least be able to talk and communicate with each other. I'm going to be doing a lot of collabs, and I know you've been doing a lot of collabs lately, and I feel that we should be amicable with each other, so it's not weird because we're both now doing a lot of clubs, and I feel like it would be really weird considering we're both also in the same, or that we're just not talking to each other at all and have zero communication. I want to come back and for us at least to be.
This is not someone who loves or cares about you.
Well, why would you even say that? Why would you even say that? That's so like weird. If anything, this is like showing that you fucking does care. Like he's like desperately reaching out to you. How the fuck would she say that? Like, how does that make any sense? This is what happens when you choose to be a fucking internet whore. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. Like, you're not gonna. If you're telling me you don't lead with your sexuality, I gotta check her streams right now. I guarantee she's got her tits out in her streams. Emiru, that's adorable, but that's Japanese appropriation. You Chinese woman. Show me them titties. Oh no, that's brutal. Oh wow. Is this who I think it is? Oh no. Apparently one of the clips on her shit is this? No way. Oh wow. So, well, this is pretty funny. 4 months ago, look who she teamed up with. That is the girl that Mizkif dumped for her. You know they planned this. This is like their revenge arc. Bro, you see when you have game, you could just see it all, guys. You see it all. Is this valuable to you people? Or is this just dog shit? Because if it's dog shit, let me know. But if it's valuable, also let me know. Posting her a little fucking thing. Let's see. Wholesome streamer. Wholesome streamer girl, huh? Is that what we are? Doubtful. Yeah. I mean, she is just a good girl with all her other good friends. All wholesome, God-fearing women. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord indeed. What a victim. That was a really kind of creepy, like psychopathic statement she just made there. Hold on. What is this? She says, like, listen,
This is not someone who loves or cares about you.
What? Like, that is out of the fucking left field. This is not someone who loves or cares about you. Like,
Really, nigga?
where does that come from there? Let's read this. A really weird considering we're both also insane that we're just not talking to each other at all, have zero communication. I want to come back and for us at least to be okay. I don't want to need to talk to you about anything about in terms of relationship. I just want to talk to you in terms of business and also just overall collaborations. So I think we should have a conversation. If you can call me sometime this week, I think that would be great. Hope you're doing well. If we can't communicate and we're going to continue to do not talk, this is only going to get weirder and weirder as we're both invited to the same things and we're actually both involved in awesome activities. It's best for both. Yeah, his texts are so simpy. Jack Hell 2680 says probably both are probably dishonest people who coping about a failed relationships. I agree. Can you please answer my phone? I'm sorry, not a day has gone by in the 4 months where your final words "don't go" have echoed in my heart. I walked out your door thinking I knew what I wanted, but I was wrong. I told myself I needed to be alone, that I missed out on being single in my 30s. I had convinced myself. Isn't he 30 right now? I convinced myself I needed space, freedom, distance. But the truth is I was afraid of commitment, afraid of what it meant to truly let someone in. Even someone as beautiful, as kind as you. Yeah, so kind she's ignoring you. So I tried to protect myself in the worst way possible. I pushed you away. I told myself lies to justify it. I was bored. I said a relationship would hold me back. I said I didn't want to be with just one person. But those weren't truths. Ugh. No, you did want to bang a bunch of hoes. This guy's so fucked up. It's funny, bro. All that money, all that clout. Look, all that money, all that clout. Let's just see this real quick. Let's go. Mizkif net worth. Let's get a ballpark figure here. Let me see. Well, he's a multimillionaire for sure. Mizkif was making $400,000 a month from Rumble. Rumble deal. One estimate suggests Mizkif's Rumble deal could be worth at least $5 million, based on cleans, making $400,000 a month. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. So this guy's a multi-millionaire. She's not even that hot, bro. She really is not, and she talks like a man. There's hotter feminine girls in like the fucking jungles of the Philippines than this fucking bitch who's gonna dox you and put your messages up. This is, I don't know, bro. I just find this foul. I feel like this is foul. And I know she's doing this. She's putting them on the screen like this to dramatize it, like to make it look so bad. Foul, bro. Giga foul.
Shut up and take my money.
Oh, hold on. Let me read this shit. This looks good. I saw the words "love of my life." You are the love. Okay. Now I can see things. I know this without a shadow. You're the love of my life. Every night we spent watching shows, every silly conversation about cheddar, every time I walked in your room as you were about to go live, I cherished it all. You see this long dash here? That like this long dash right here, dude, this dumbass is using AI. No human types like that. No, when have you ever in your life used a long dash? This dumbass is using AI. You've brought color and joy into my life in ways I didn't fully appreciate till I lost you. And I hate that I let fear and pain and pride blind me to how lucky I was to have you. Emmy, if you still have any space in your heart for me, I would spend the rest of my life making things right. Loving you the way you've always deserved to be loved. This time, fully. I'm leaving for LA, but I would make it work with you, even if we could start small. It's always been Matt and Emmy, and still could be, if you'll have me, Matt. Bro, they don't like you, nigga, bro. What you dumbass, man. What a fucking dumbass, dude. Can we please have a talk right here? Simple conversation would go very far from it. The lack of communication is very confusing. It's not confusing. She don't like you, you dumbass. Can we please talk? Why simple conversation? I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. Simp.
And keep in mind,
Why? Okay, like, hold on. Like, what's going on here? Why are we biting our lips? Look at that.
and keep in mind, this is only things that he sent to me. I can't document all the things that people told me that he was saying. And just kind of a funny side note, I guess. I would like to highlight this message because doesn't really matter, but I ran it through the ChatGPT checker and all the highlights. Like I said, doesn't really matter. I just thought it was interesting.
I don't need a ChatGPT checker. All I need is that fucking see that long dash. Like, oh, okay. Anytime you see somebody saying something with a long dash, like, okay, it's AI.
But yeah. Like I said at first, the messages were just simple things. Like
I like how the script is like, okay, then what I want you to do is I want you to don't say a single word, and I want you to pull up every message and then fill it on the screen. This was so fucking planned out. This was extremely fucking scripted. And it makes you just wonder, like, okay, really? Like,
Really, nigga?
it's my favorite one recently. What are we doing here? Haram!
I'm saying he was worried about things or saying no one was talking to him, which I don't think was even true at the time. I think he was just saying that to try to guilt me into responding to him. I'm not sure about that, of course. This also extended to in-person interactions because initially I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through private communication and, you know, we would be fine going to the same events and parties and such. I also had to start... Hold on, I'm still fucking sick.
Even the way she drinks is so like masculine. When like Japanese girls drink, they're like, like it's like fucking little princesses. You know, just like, I need to moisturize my throat to continue to destroy this man's life.
I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through personal private communication.
Rich is in the chat. Do you think she has a father to take abuse if it's all true for so long in exchange for clout? Doesn't seem like it. You have not heard the hip hop song. They do anything for clout. They'll do anything for clout. Okay? Come on, bro. You didn't hear come on, fucking Weekend, Popular. They'll do anything to be popular. Bro, you like girls. Let me tell you something that's funny, okay? Every time I go on Fresh and Fit, right? The women, when we talk behind the scenes, right? They're always like, yeah, well, we heard you guys like really mean to girls, and like sometimes you throw girls off, and like sometimes you scream at girls, and we heard all these things, and it's kind of scary, but we decided to do it anyways. Cracks me up. Fucking cracks me up. It's like, yeah, we heard you throw us off, and sometimes you debate and you ask us funny questions, make us stupid, but you know, we just wanted to try. We just wanted to give it a try. Just wanted to see, like, anything for clout. Anything for clout. Okay. She's probably broke too and wants it back from him. No, I think her net worth was like 1.5 mil. It's not bad for 27. Not bad amount. Yeah, if you were that guy, you can get it with anything, huh? She sounds like a Discord mod. Yeah, like yeah. Ego Slayer says Chat GPT simping is wild work, bro. Bro, listen, dog. Never put it past these dudes, bro. Never put it past these dudes. Think of like what I would have done, okay, if I was in his corner, I could have got her back for him. I'd be like, first of all, you little pussy, you need to fucking go rock solid digital silence. Rock solid digital silence. Next, you need to find the hottest girls possible in your fucking contact circle and do the funnest, most entertaining, happiest looking streams of your life and just make it a marathon. Because she was stalking him too. She acting like she wasn't fucking stalking this guy. She was like digitally stalking him for sure. For sure. So, come on. Ugh.
But I also had to start avoiding going to the same parties or places I was worried he'd be in person. Because, this was after he came back from his first trip to Japan. There was a party that I attended several months after I first went into contact with him. I was aware that he would be there, and I thought it'd be fine. I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. I thought I'll just let him have his space. I'll have my space. You know, it's not a big deal. We're adults, right? During this party, I felt like he was following me around and monitoring me, but I thought that I was just being paranoid. I was like, it's probably just in your head. I was hanging out with Nick and Catchy and a couple other friends. And, at some point, Nick was like, it's too fucking loud down here. Let's go upstairs. No one's upstairs. Let's just go, you know, chill in a room and, like, talk where it's not so loud. And, I was like, okay. So, they, as a group, went upstairs first without me, but it took me a bit longer to, get up there because someone, like, stopped me and was talking to me. And I did feel like, I mean, he was, like, standing pretty close to that person. I felt like he was watching me, but again, I thought I was just being paranoid. But, I went upstairs. I was hanging out with Nick and Catchy and, you know, our other friends. And then, about 30 minutes later, the room that we're in, the door opens. It's Miz. He opens the door, makes eye contact with me, goes, ooh, and then closes the door and leaves. And I was like, what the fuck? But again, I was still trying my best to, you know, give the benefit of the doubt, like, you know, maybe it's just, like, an awkward situation or something. But a couple months later, the person that he was hanging out with that night reached out to me privately and was apologizing. And I was like, why? And they're like, I just felt like I had to apologize to you because I felt so bad and so embarrassed of what was going on. Like, yes, he wanted to see what you were doing. He was saying, like, I want to go see what's upstairs, and he was checking every room. And then after he opened the room that you were in with Nick, he closed the door and started laughing, and then he just wanted to talk about, you know, how you guys broke up for the next, like, however many hours of the night. So I was like, wow, okay, that's good to know, I guess. The next story, that I want to tell involves what happened to me, Valkyrie, and Cinna earlier this year when we were attacked at the Santa Monica Pier, because that was obviously, hold on, let me close all these fucking texts. I don't want to look at them. They're still on my desktop. Where was I? Yeah, so, yeah, it happened March 3rd of this year. A lot of people were talking about it, talking about how me, Ray, and Senna were attacked.
Here's the event. Let's see. 3 gigathoughts on the streets. So I guess this is her.
Hey, excuse me? No. Emily, no. Hey, stop. Whoa, whoa.
Let's fucking fight right now.
What? Get away from
now. Hey, what's going on?
security. He's harassing us.
What's going on? What's going on? Right now. I'll kill you right now. I'll kill you right now.
Security, please, please. Security. Excuse me?
What the fuck? Oh, yeah. It's fucking annoying. All right. So apparently this is an event that she's talking about. Okay.
Which was not an issue. Like, we had no issue with that. Like, obviously, it's big news. People are gonna talk about it. It should be talked about. We had, like, no issues with anyone talking about it and covering it, and that included him. I was fine with that. He joined in on that whole thing of people going live to talk about it. And again, I'd like to remind people at this point, we were already a couple months into me making no contact with him, making it clear I didn't want anything to do with him. And so during this stream, he was covering what happened to me, Ray, and Senna. He decided that he was going to tell more of my personal stalker stories that I've never personally talked about or shared publicly myself. And one of these stories was one that, like, no one knew at all, and, like, it just felt so shitty because at the time that those things happened, like, you know, all the people that lived in that area together, we all came together and we all kind of decided, and this was heavily pushed by him, we should never talk about this because, you know, people are gonna be weird, it puts Emmy in more danger, and, you know, gives people ideas, so we're never gonna talk about it. But, you know, of course, as soon as there's some big drama that he's not involved in, and he finds a way to, you know, bring up, oh, I was there for something that happened to Emmy, he does it. He was on a stream talking about these personal stories of mine, and I caught wind of it. And by the way, it was also so frustrating not to say anything at this time because the way he told those stories, he kind of framed himself as, like, the hero. He was like, oh, I held the stalker at gunpoint. No. The only person who ever came into contact face-to-face with that stalker before the police came was Bonnie. Bonnie is the person who found that guy outside, went inside, told everyone, called the police came. All Miz did was he stood far away from the front door, behind glass and metal, with a gun. Yeah, I mean, I understand, still very scary, but why are you acting like you, like, if anyone deserves credit for that, it's Bonnie. Like, it's literally stolen valor. I'm so glad I found—
Wait, what?
He was like, oh, I held the stalker at gunpoint. No. The only person who ever came into contact face-to-face with that stalker before the police came was Bonnie. Bonnie is the person who found that guy outside, went inside, told everyone, called the police came. All Miz did was he stood far away from the front door, behind glass and metal, with a gun.
That's like the most tactically advantageous thing that you had there that would stop the guy from coming in. So, like, what are you talking about? What are you fucking retarded? If you stood there with a gun, that's like the number one thing that fucking protected you. She's just salty, bro. Bro, you know what it is? I'm telling you, she got around some bitter bitches that poisoned her mind. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, still very scary, but why are you acting like you, like, if anyone deserves credit for that, it's Bonnie. Like, it's literally stolen valor. I'm so glad I finally get to say that because she is the one who, like, kept everyone in those 2 houses safe, not him.
No, the gun and the man's presence kept you safe. Let's be honest. What a dumbass, dude. These chicks are so fucking retarded. This is what happens when you have an army of simps. This is what happens with people in general when they have clout. They think just because they have clout and they're, like, validated by their audience, they start to get, like, this god complex. Like, oh, you know, everything that I say and do is right because it's instantly validated. You know? If that guy would have broken down that front door, Bonnie wouldn't have done shit.
Anyway, back to the original thing, the Ray and Senna stuff. So, I was obviously panicking, like, I just had this horrible thing happened to me the night before. It was like huge, like public, millions of people seeing it. And then my crazy ex-boyfriend is going live talking about more of my personal stuff. And I'm like crying, and Senna and Ray are like what's wrong? And I tell them, and I'm like panicking. I'm like, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so. Like these different people that I was like, they can contact him, because I did not want to contact him. So Ray, Senna, some of me and Miz's mutual business partners, and Asmongold were all messaging him to stop. And by the way, Asmongold told me that he tried to call Miz while he was talking, and it rang 3 times and then hung up, which means that he saw it and he just wanted to be able to keep talking because, yeah, anyway, just a little note. I don't know exactly what, like, the other people said to him, but Ray and Senna told me that they were messaging him being like, bro, like, stop, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And he was messaging them, who were also equally as traumatized as me, of course. They had gone through the same thing. Oh, what am I doing wrong? I'm letting people know what, you know, girls go through. Was that your job? Well, anyway, yeah, that all happened a couple of months into me being no contact with him. And yeah, he was arguing with Ray and Senna while they're trying to be like, bro, like, stop, like, you're making it worse. He finished talking about my stuff and then reacted to Senna and Ray's whole stream where they were crying, addressing their communities, made sure to react to that, and then immediately went offline. So yeah, that was a terrible weekend. I got threatened to be stabbed, and then the next day, my weird ex was going live trying to self-insert so that he could make sure to farm his own clips. After that incident, his attempts to talk to me only ramped up, which I showed those texts. We went back to Japan.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, that's funny. I forgot my fucking my texts go up here too. I was trying to have a private combo with you fucking guys on Rumble. Well, I hope that doesn't get picked up.
And during that trip, he was texting and calling me.
Thank God I didn't write the hard R word. Yeah, you are the retarded Spanish son who thinks you're Muslim.
Trying to call me quite a lot, begging me to take him back. And at the same time, I heard that he was reaching out to quite a few other streamers who know both of us. And he was crying to them about how he wanted to get back together and how he thought someday we would reconnect and eventually get married. I don't think he even meant that, but I hope not. But I assume he did that with the hope that they would relay the messages back to me since I wasn't talking to him. And I mean, some of them did. I also had a couple other streamers report to me that he would obsessively watch my stream, and not in a like, oh, I wonder what Emmy's doing right now way, or like having my stream open. Like, he would be obsessively and attentively hate watching my stream, like watching my stream and just saying horrible things almost every time that I've been live this year. And they tell me that he would want to discuss how he believed I still wanted him.
Yeah, Jackal says that the guy with the gun, not a deterrent. What a dumbass. Seriously, what a fuck. Like, the #1 deterrent was him.
Interesting, considering I never replied. And he would ask other guys if they thought I had slept with anyone this year. They'd be like, I don't fucking know, man. And then they'd
I know. Come on. We know. We know. Come on. You got them tits out in every picture. Come on.
told me he would say stuff like, no, there's no way she's done that. She's not like that. And she's probably waiting for me. Just really fucking gross stuff like that. And a couple of streamers in LA also told me that he was telling people that me and him still talk all the time, but we simply weren't together anymore because I was too mature and I was not ready. I was too immature. But yeah, you can see from the messages I showed. I'm not sure if, like, I mean, people could go back and read them. He was begging me to take him back for the majority of this year, which was 7 or 8 months total. And like I said, some of those messages were even, I believe, ChatGPT. Not that it really matters, it's just interesting, right? As of today, it's been about 2 months since he has attempted to contact me directly. I think because about 2 months ago was when he started kind of getting scared that I might have been, like, you know, telling people things, which again, I wasn't going on my way to do it, but if anyone ever asked me, I wasn't gonna lie to them. I mentioned this at the beginning before I started, like, fully telling the story. I heard from my friends, other streamers, and my employees that he had cooked up a plot that if I ever tried to talk about him, like, about the abuse or anything else, he would try to go live and say that I killed my rabbits. And I was told that he approached several streamers who were around us a lot when we lived together and asked if they would basically back him up, and they refused. Obviously, they're not insane. And even something happened this weekend at TwitchCon. One of my employees told me he went up to them and he threatened them, saying, if Emmy ever tries to talk about me, I will destroy her. Whatever that means. And within the same night, he also texted one of my best friends, and he would have known that I would have been with this girl. He texted her saying, hey, worried about her, hope she's okay. You know, right after he just said to my employee and other people that he was gonna try to destroy my life. Yeah, all in the same night. And, yeah, that was Saturday, so that pretty much leads us to today. I feel like it's clear I've spent the last year of my life cutting him off and building a new life with people that actually care about me and doing my best to move on peacefully without causing any drama. I did not want to do this. A lot of other creators actually told me that after his other allegations in 2022, if I wasn't the first person to stand up for him and start appearing on his channel again, they do not think that they would have gone back to helping him with his content. So I always tried to keep things private, always tried to make things better, had hope that things would get better, you know, tried to be supportive, and my thanks that I got for all of that was abuse and resentment, and for all of 2025, all of this year, harassment and hatred from him and his community, while he was the whole time secretly begging for me to take him back behind the scenes. I've taken a lot of steps already, as I said, it's apparent. I've taken a lot of steps to restructure my life and be a lot more careful about who I help and who I invest my time and my care into. And I'm doing a lot better now, but I felt like this was a necessary strain because, like I said at the very beginning, I have heard that he has done things to other people that aligned with some of my own experiences, so I felt like it would be wrong for me to keep holding on to all this information.
Let's hear that again. Let's hear that again. Let's hear that again. I love the cope. This cope is great.
For all of 2025, all of this year, harassment and hatred from him and his community, while he was the whole time secretly begging for me to take him back behind the scenes. I've taken a lot of steps already, as I said, it's apparent. I've taken a lot of steps to restructure my life and be a lot more careful about who I help and who I invest my time and my care into. And I'm doing a lot better now, but I felt like this was a necessary strain because, like I said at the very beginning, I have heard that he has done things to other people that aligned with some of my own experiences, so I felt like it would be wrong for me to keep holding on to all this information. I know I stayed for way too long, and I thought that I could help, and I unfortunately learned that I couldn't, but I worked really hard to have the life that I have now with my friends, my family, my pets, and my community, and I'm so grateful for how things are now. It was very difficult, but I'm very proud of myself for making the choices that I did to end up where I am now. And, yeah, that's my story of, dealing with abuse, psychological and domestic abuse, sexual assault, and, stalking, and...
Like, the sexual assault part is crazy. That's like... That, I don't know, dude. That's a little bit... Let me see what this... I want to see this shit said about 2021. Hold on. Okay. My mistake. She moved in the believed end of 2021.
I moved in with him. I believe it was the end of 2021 because he offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having stalker issues in Kansas. And I mean, you guys know like all the stuff that happened there. I ended up joining the org and everything. We did a lot of streams together. And I mean, a lot of people already know this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022.
So, moved in towards the end of 2021. Officially a relationship January 2022. So they were fucking beforehand. He breaks up with his ex in September. She moves in towards the end, like, bro, I mean, come on. And this guy had more clout than her, like...
Really, nigga?
I like the whole... That's the sexual assault definitely... Look, dude, that's like... given the circumstance that they were together right there, and she was letting him kiss her, you know, she was letting him, and then he probably did what they had done 1,000 times, where he'd get on top of her and start, you know, taking the clothes off. She screamed, and immediately he stopped. Now this is sexual assault. Like, bro, this is why people fucking hate American women, bro. Like, this is and like clearly she's going out of her fucking way to make a goddamn fucking big stink out of this. Big fucking stink out of this. He put out some shit. Let me see what this says. Is this him?
Hey, what's up? It's Mizkif, and I want to show you a quick video.
I made a video, got a fuck ton of views, has 98.7% like ratio, called Twitch is Collapsing. And this was about Trainwreck's bombshell tweet, now totally debunked, about Mizkif and I forget whoever else was involved. And I made a video that was like incredibly damaging. It was just not at all based in fact, because you don't have fact when you make a video based off of tweets that are completely made up. These videos have no research to them. These videos are aggregates of what is available to see online.
In September 2022, I was accused of covering up sexual assault by Trainwreck TV. This resulted in the biggest drama that has ever happened in the history of Twitch, where dozens of the top content creators attacked me for weeks, saying that I covered up sexual assault and I deserved to be banned. Ludwig was one of those content creators who made a video titled Twitch is Collapsing with over 3 million views. This video told people that I was the only one involved in this whole thing, and I orchestrated basically a cover-up. This resulted in me losing so many of my fans, torpedoed my career, destroyed my mental health to something that I don't know if ever will come back, and has ruined my life and almost everyone I know around me. I'm not
My bad, guys. I'm kind of tired. It's fucking 4.
doing this as a hit piece on Ludwig. I really don't care that he apologized or said that he fucked up. I'm making this video because I think a lot of people on Twitch understand that it was false and
This guy's pretty fucking ugly. That's the power of clout. This guy is an ugly motherfucker, in my opinion. He is not a good-looking guy.
understand that it's not
He has a very weird fucking face. And that shows you the power of clout, boys. But you attract that fucking, you know, he fucked it because he fucked the relationship with her up. But she knows what she was doing, bro. I'm not gonna try and play. There's no fucking innocence here. She knew what she was doing, bro.
not true. But on other platforms like Instagram and TikTok, a lot of people hate me because of this. I hate that this happened, but I keep moving on. And if you're someone that watched me over the years but thought I did that, give me another chance. And if you're someone that hated me already because of this, you'll probably hate me watching my content anyway. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope this gives me a little bit of closure. Hey, what's up? It's Mizkif, and I want to show you a quick...
Exactly, bro. He looks Jewish. Someone doing early life. Shalom. Let's find out. Mizkif. His eyes are blue, though. A Jew's, unless he's Ashkenazi Jew. Matthew Rinaldo. Sounds French. Is it American? Here we go, chat. Let's see what's up. He is of Italian descent. That explains the hot temper. He's 30. 1.5 million. He has 2 million now. Mizkif began dating a fellow Twitch streamer, wildlife rehabilitator Maya Higa in 2019. On September 14, 2020, Miz came out Twitter that he had no longer a relationship. He started dating Emiru in January 2022. Now, that's when they became official, but they were fucking beforehand. Mizkif has a heart condition called viral myocarditis. He also struggles with attention deficit disorder. He's got an Audi R8. Who cares? By November 2021, Twitch streamer would move into his house. Oh, by November, moved into her house. Oh, wow. So she was trying to cover that shit up, bro. Okay, so she moved in November. Okay. They broke up. They announced that they broke up on the 14th. So...
Really, nigga?
You see, you can't pull that shit on me, you fucking hoes. You cannot pull that on me. They were definitely fucking. They were definitely fucking. Because I doubt she would speed run and be like, okay, October, now he's single. Okay, we start fucking in October. And I'm like, hey, why don't you just move in? She's like, okay. Bro.
Really, nigga?
Nope. 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 I'm just saying, bro. Yo, MLD, serious question. Why these streamers like Neon, Mizkif, or iShowSpeed get a lot of viewers, but they never provide anything with value? I've watched their streams. It's boring as fuck. Because if you're watching stuff like me, and you're watching stuff like, I'm not an entertainment streamer. Like every episode that I've done, I'm on episode, like, I think on Monday, we're going to be Interview with the Man, episode 900. Okay. Every episode that I've ever put out, it is an informational episode. Do you know that? Any fucking episode I've done, it's about educating people. All right? They're entertaining people. Remember I talk about how, excuse me, it's fucking 4:15. I'm going to bed soon. Okay? Yeah, and they bought too. Good, A Marino, good point. They do bought. They bought their viewers as well, right? Which reminds me, I need to put the Streamlabs bot in my fucking Stream Elements bot. Stream Elements. You know, people just want to be entertained because, like I said, what most people do in life, guys. Okay, I know this is gonna sound dark, but it's the truth. Most people in life mismanage their life. Okay, most people in life, they avoid the pain that's necessary to develop to become the person that you are wanting to become, right? And they delay that. They delay it. They chase pleasure, drinking, partying, watching stuff on YouTube, you know, whatever. Having sex, drugs, gambling, whatever, right? They do all that. And they avoid what they need to do. They avoid the pain that is necessary to grow. And they push towards the end of their life. And then they have the real dark, existential pain of dying alone, being broke, washed up, and cooked, man. It's fucking crazy, guys. And you don't want that happening to you. And that's why we're going live in about 3 days. On October 29th, I am doing free coaching. It's my first one ever. It's probably going to be terrible. But there's also going to be a lot of good nuggets in there because I'm putting together so much valuable information to teach you guys how to talk to a girl anywhere, anytime, any place around the world, okay? Guys, I'm about to be 40. I went out tonight and this fucking... I went to a kava bar. I wanted to have some kratom. And I just saw some really cute girls in like short mini skirts walking over to this bar. So I was like, I asked this guy in the street, I was like, where are those girls going? Like, there's a bar over there? Like, where are they heading? And I walked into this bar and I saw this fucking beautiful Spanish chick. Beautiful. And I'm like, I'm not like gassing her up. This, like, I have really high standards. And this chick was fucking beautiful. And she was talking to me and touching me and shit. My sexual assault video is coming out tomorrow. I'm going to tell my story. But, you know, it's gorgeous girl. And we ran into each other in the streets again. And she was like saying hi to me and touching me and shit. So once you learn how to figure out a game, guys, you have this aura about you. Okay. And it's a power that you keep with you for the rest of your life. And I'll teach you how to talk to these girls, how to ask them out on a date. And I just teach you about the reality of this whole system of learning how to talk to girls, finding quality women, because it's just a skill set. That's all it is. There's nothing there's no mysticism. It's not because you're a fucking Gemini or a Taurus or whatever. Okay, it's not because you're a fucking numerology 7 number, any of this bullshit that doesn't mean anything. Okay? It's a skill set that you don't have that I can show you the blueprint and the steps. But it's only going to be available on this upcoming Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live on Zoom. So go to approachanywhere.com and get on the waiting list. I still haven't emailed or texted anybody. Probably I should have done that already by now, but I've just been so focused on the streams and doing the community aspect of things. But I'll call, I'll text, I'll email. I'll probably do it tomorrow. What do you guys think? It's better to email you on a Sunday or a Monday? You know, let me know. But yeah, I didn't know how to break it down in a way that would have been concise. So when I don't know how to do that, I'll just do the whole breakdown. I really hope you guys found some value in that. You know, I'm just always trying to do my best for you guys. So I'm gonna go cry about my my sexual assault case when the girl touched me without my consent tonight, and then I'm gonna hopefully make $10 million. And I'm not gonna file a police report, but I'm gonna go and expose her. Until then, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Peace out.